Alright, everybody knows what kind of vacuum this is, and everybody has seen the tests on how much better it is, blah blah blah, wind tunnel, turbine, no filters, etc, etc. You've all seen the demonstration videos or commercials where they're sucking something off the floor and it performs better than the competition. I saw it as well, and like most things that are new, you've got to be a little bit skeptical. And you got to use your own judgment and see and hear and read and see what people are saying about it to determine if it really is better. Now, I had a hard time buying a vacuum for $500, and I believe that's what these things still go for. You may not believe this, but this vacuum in brand new condition was thrown out in a dumpster behind a store that used to exist called Linens and Things, or LNT. And while working on the back side of that store, we noticed this vacuum in pristine condition. It was a display model, had all the stickers on it. In pristine condition, we saved this from the landfill. There was absolutely no signage for no trespassing or no taking or anything. It was clearly mixed in with other trash, so I was not stealing. But is that not pathetic that this was thrown into a dumpster? I think I could make another video on that in a future date. But back to the point. This vacuum rocks. There's no other way to say how good this vacuum is, and I'm not going to sit here and try to suck up some of my yard or try to suck up some of those rocks. You're just going to have to take my word for it, but I would never lie to anybody and then post it on the internet for other people to make an informed judgment with $500 of their hard-earned money. My story of the Dyson is this, and I was stupid and didn't have my camera when the situation unfolded, so fail on that part. But I was redoing the grout in a tile floor, and the kitchen was about 12 by 12 or 12 by 13, whatever, so it was a pretty good sized kitchen, and the entire floor was done in 12-inch by 12-inch ceramic tiles, 1 foot around each side, so a 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot square of ceramic tile. So I used all kinds of tools and stuff, and I should make a review video about that. I used a Sawzall and a Rotozip and a drill and even a chisel and a hammer to try to get that grout out of there. And one of the most effective things that got it out was one of those oscillating tools with a carbide tip on it. But that turned the grout into powder. My house was completely covered in the grout dust. It was as if I took a bag of new floor grout and just dumped it all over. It was powder everywhere by the time I was done. And I figured I would just vacuum it up with my shop vac. I got maybe 3 or 4 feet with my shop vac the first time. Just a regular conventional shop vac with a filter like this. This is not the one, but I actually know that this filter is clogged right now. You can see that coming out of here. This is cement dust from a basement job we were just doing the other week. You can see how the paper elements are just completely clogged with cement dust. So not this filter, but one just like it got plugged with the dust from the grout. It was as if you never even put water in the grout after I ground it out with that oscillating tool. And the reason I was grinding it out was because I did not strengthen my floor subbase underneath enough, and the floor flexed with people walking on it, and the grout lines cracked excessively. So fail on my part, but I was there to fix it. So I got about 3 or 4 feet the first time with the shop vac, and it plugged. After that initial, and that was on a brand new filter. After that initial plugging, when the filter was plugged the first time, I got out, cleaned everything out, and I figured I could go at least that far again. Wrong. After that initial plugging, the shop vac only had the power to suck up the dust, which is actually very similar to this here in consistency. It only had the power to suck up 1 foot of dust at a time. So you're doing a 12 by 13 or 12 by 14, whatever that kitchen was, I can't remember now. You're doing a 12 by 14 kitchen. You have literally hundreds of lineal feet of dust to pick up in between the joint lines, plus what's spread around on top of the tile and under the table and in the crevices and corners. I would have been there a month trying to clean up the dust. And then the filter got so plugged it wasn't even working. It had no suction. And then I tried to put a few holes in it, or I can't remember what I did. I put a few holes in it to try to get a little bit more air flow through the filter. That was a completely dumb move. The vacuum then just sucked up the dust and blew it back out into my house. And so what I turned to was, long story short, I'm babbling here. Long story short, I pull out the Dyson. I never used the Dyson for anything more than carpet. No type of abrasive materials prior to that dust ever. I whip out the Dyson expecting nothing out of it. I put it on bare floors and it sucked up every bit of that dust without any discharge back into the air. And it was like some miracle happened where all the dust that was on the floor where I needed to work was now gone, and it left me with nothing but a nice, clean, bare channel to put my new grout. So my question to Dyson would be, when are you guys going to start making shop vacs? And my review here would be to the public: if you are doubting this vacuum for a second, don't. This thing has performed. We rescued this one out of the dumpster in 2005, and it's been working on carpets and regular household duties like hardwood floors all the way to 2013, and then it did the amazing dust cleanup of the cement grout, which is obviously full of sand and very fine cement powder. You could tell no difference whatsoever when you went back to carpet. It worked awesome. So that's all I have to say right now. Dyson, if you're listening, where's the shop vac for the contractors of the world? And to the public, you are not going to go wrong with this vacuum. This is the original DC, does it say DC7? All floors. The only other thing I got to say is I do know somebody that has a Dyson ball. I think that probably has the same suction power, but I know that the Dyson ball, when it's on thick shaggy carpet, when you're pushing around your house a lot, it will administer to you one nice static electrical shock through the handle. When you're on bare floors, it doesn't do that, but when you're swooshing around carpet, it somehow creates electricity and shocks you on the handle. This one does not do that. Only that ball one does. Maybe some type of grounding wire could be placed in a wheel. I'm not sure. Something to allow the static to go back to the floor. That's my review. Thank you.